ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Ector. I am very, very pleased and proud to be the conductor of the Mission Chorus here at Mission College. Tonight is the first of our spring semester concerts. I guess we could call this the very end of winter concert, I guess. And the title of this evening's performance is The Winds of Change, Songs of Protest and Social Consciousness Throughout Time. It's a relatively short little set tonight. We won't be going too terribly long. But we have a lot of very, very eclectically varied and, diverse. Yes, absolutely. Diverse music. We're going to summon up the blood. I'm going to make you guys sing, believe it or not, and but not right away. We're going to open this evening's concert with what was a favorite amongst the hippies in 1624. In the German Peasant Wars, the peasant class was starting to think for themselves, which actually was illegal at the time. And so they wrote a protest song, 17th century here. And this song over time has come down to us. It was so popular, actually, over time, that even Pete Seeger was singing it with English lyrics back in the 60s. And we are going to sing a new English translation of the song tonight by Elizabeth Alexander, who is a composer colleague of mine. I know her from the Unitarian Universalist Musicians Network. And that's where I actually first came upon this song. And then when I found out that she had also arranged it for choir, I said, well, just so happens we're doing protest songs, so we're going to start with an oldie. Come on up, choir. We're going to sing for you this evening, Die Gedanken sind frei. My thoughts are free. Rotation hit, 1624-25. Look it up. Moving chronologically forward here, our second song of the evening is the Internationale, which stands pretty much as the socialist national anthem, and has done so since the 19th century. At one point, it was actually the anthem of the old Soviet Union. We changed that. You still hear it sung now and again. It proved very popular in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s in America amongst the socialist workers' unions, and a lot of the kind of radical folk singers of the time have hauled this one out. In the late 1980s, getting back to Pete Seeger. Pete Seeger was going out on tour, and he contacted one of the other gents going out on tour, Mr. Billy Bragg from the UK. And Billy is pretty much a dyed-in-the-wool socialist, always has been. Very, very kind of radical with kind of a punk sensibility, and has always been a very strong advocate through his songwriting and his performing. He also writes one hell of a good love song too, but he's known for his political activism. Pete Seeger told Billy, he said, I want to haul out the Internationale when we're going out on tour. And Billy said, well, that's fine, Pete, but frankly, the words are just not singable. They're terrible. And Pete said, well, write something new. And Billy did. And so in 1989, he came up with new lyrics in English translation to the Internationale. Although the Internationale has been translated into about 15 languages internationally, this is the new English translation of the Internationale. Billy Bragg.
For the time when fear goes wrong.
10-finger 88-key orchestra over there is Chris Pasillas. Chris has been helping us for a good long time, and I appreciate it immensely. Always good to have someone tickling the ivories with such great talent. Chris is more than just a piano player, he's an accompanist. And if you look up the definition, there's a huge difference. And we are glad to have both a talented pianist, but also one that is an accompanist. That was the Internationale, and now we're going to move to the end of the 19th century with an African hymn that over the years has become the anthem of a number of African nations. It still stands as part of the South African national anthem. It was quite a powerful song in the time of apartheid. In the intervening years, it has come forward and been disseminated. Now, let's see, Zambia, Tanzania, Namibia, Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe and Namibia have since adopted new national anthems, but Tanzania and a portion of the anthem of South Africa. The interesting part of this particular song, Nkosi Sikelel' Afrika, is that it's in 3 separate languages. It opens in Xhosa. The middle portion, a secondary kind of different song in the middle of it all, is in Zulu, and then it finishes up in Sesotho, and so this anthem has taken on more and more through the decades. So we're going to sing it in kind of its more polished, modern format in all 3 languages. This is Nkosi Sikelel' Afrika. that we are performing this evening are songs of the people. Protest songs in particular, for obvious reasons. In programming concerts for this semester, I just thought that maybe it was time to revisit some and explore some new ones, and just realize that people rising up in protest for whatever reason has always existed. And music to accompany that protest, whether political or social, religious, philosophical, the music helps tie those units of resistance together. I'm going to change gears a little bit, and I'm actually now going to recruit you all into the mission chorus. Congratulations. Don't worry about having to pay any fees or anything. This is going to be a really cool little arrangement. What I need you to do is I'm going to sing a phrase, and I would like you to sing it back to me. Don't worry, the words are not too terribly intense. Be natural, please. So sing to me, tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la. That was terrible. Let's try that again. Tra-la-la-la. Tra-la-la-la. That's better. Sing tra-la-la-la. 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 Now, so we see we have this little progression downwards. So it sounds like, listen once through, tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. All right, this is your turn. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. Good. Now the most important part of the entire chorus is next here. That line is, we're making the world safe for capitalism. That's it. Here we are. Ready? And we're making the world safe for capitalism. There you go. Now we put the tra-la-las all together with the last little bit about capitalism. Here we are. And 1, 2, 3. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism. There you go. See? Congratulations. You're now all members of the mission chorus. Yay. Yes. So we are now going to sing a song. This is an original song by the same folk singer I mentioned earlier from the Internationale, Billy Bragg. This is off the same album, Internationale from 1989. And this, while it has a couple dated references to certain political and governmental entities, it nevertheless has withstood the test of time and represents a very good snap photograph of times in the late 80s going into the early 90s. This is actually the only original song, non-cover, off of the album, The Internationale, which Billy released that year. And yeah, we're going to have some fun. We're going to open with a little extended introduction by Chris over here, and then we're going to turn it over to Victor for a little while, and then I'm going to bring you in on the chorus. All right? You remember the chorus?
Yep.
Let's rehearse it one more time. And 1, 2, 3. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism. That's all we need. Good, good, good. Now this will come forth a number of times. you'll kind of understand when it comes around, and I'll give you the big old cue. Here we are. This is called the Marching Song of the Covert Battalions. And I'd like to dedicate this performance to a couple old college friends of mine, Raleigh and Johan, and the rest of the social misfits. We were a bunch of young socialists at heart. Here we were.
Communists in order. Just remember when you're sleeping in your beds, they're only 2 days drive from the Texas border. How can a country large as ours be scared of such a threat? Well, if they don't work for us, they're against us, you can bet. They may be sovereign countries, but you folks at home forget that they all want what we've got, but we don't know it yet. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism.
Now corporate muscle marches in behind us. For freedom's just another word for nothing left to sell. And if you want narcotics, we can get you those as well. We help the multinationals when they cry out, protect us. The locals scream and shout and bid, but we don't let that affect us. We're here to lend a helping hand in case they don't elect us. How dare they buy our products, yet still they don't respect us. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism.
If you thought the army was here protecting people like yourself, well, I've some news for you. We're here to defend wealth. Away with nuns and bishops.
Romero!
The good Lord will help those who help themselves. I've some news for you. We're here to defend wealth. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe for capitalism. Tra-la-la-la, 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 tra-la-la-la. We're making the world safe.
That was it. That's called the Marching Song of the Covert Battalions. Congratulations, you all passed the audition. Now, you're more than welcome to come rehearse with us anytime.
Yay.
Give yourself a round of applause. Oh, it's a fun moment. And now, after looking Now, after looking at more the radical protest end of things, we turn to some different large, important affairs in our lives, and the first is caring for the environment. Lord help us on that one. Our next piece, the words of Chief Seattle. Well, it's not truthful. These aren't the words of Chief Seattle at all. It turns out that these words, which have come down to us for a long time, we've heard these since the early 70s. And these words have been put forward as a quote by Chief Seattle from the 19th century. And it turns out, after all this, including in our music, the composer of this piece, the words of Chief Seattle, Amy Stephen, wrote on the left side at the top of the page that the words were by Chief Seattle. Well, we found out since then that they are actually by a screenwriter from a kind of a documentary-ish film about ecology from the early 1970s. And this speech was put forward. It was written by this screenwriter. And as he put down these words, he fully realized that he was trying to evoke the spirit of Native America. He wasn't trying to falsely, fill Chief Seattle with words, but he was trying to speak something in the spirit of. And this was a time when pollution was rampant. The Environmental Protection Agency was just getting started, and we're watching that go away. And there was even a very famous commercial back in the 70s with Chief Iron Eyes Cody standing by a superhighway as the cars are driving by at top speed, belching out all kinds of smoke and pollution before catalytic converters and unleaded gasoline, and somebody starts tossing garbage out of their window, and he watches it land on the side of the road, and he's dressed in native attire, and he comes with a tear down his eye. It was a very effective commercial in this time. These words were actually created around this same time, when the American environment was in danger. It was under attack, and finally, safeguards were put into place to bring it back from the brink. So we're going to sing the words of Chief Seattle, knowing full well that they aren't actually his words, but when even politicians such as Al Gore, when pastors and reverends and priests and rabbis are quoting these words as Chief Seattle's in homilies and sermons, and continue to do so, when people continue to put this quote forward as being the words of Chief Seattle, we understand, as well as the Native American nations, which have actually come forward and they have said, they have made a statement on this text saying, we understand. You guys were trying to get the spirit of it. And it's not the screenwriter's fault. He put it forward saying this is in the vein of. And they decided not to give him a script writing credit. They eliminated him from the credits, and they also eliminated a little warning statement, so everybody thought that these were the words of Chief Seattle. It's close enough. And this is a beautiful setting of the texts. The words of Chief Seattle. Northern California gal. Spokesperson, activist, artist, poet, producer. She does a little bit of everything. And this is from the early portion of the 21st century now. We finally made the leap over. And I had the opportunity to arrange this particular piece based off of her solo recording of this. It gives Chris a big chance to shine here. He kind of pulls on his gospel chops for this one. And it's a really marvelous song. You're going to hear three wonderful soloists, each of them making the song their own personal, which is exactly how Holly wants it. These are good, strong, powerful words, and these are words that I, for one, believe are far, far too necessary right now. This is a piece called I Am Willing.
I am
So the table over in the corner there where the programs were, there's a very lonely little flower vase. It's an empty flower vase, or at least it was last time I looked. Something that you may need to know about this organization is that we technically function with no budget. We exist without a budget. Meaning I don't have anything to buy sheet music with. I usually have to incur the expenses myself. Not pleading for you here for that reason. Which is one reason I arrange a lot of music. At this point, we barely, I honestly don't know where the funding to cover Chris for this evening and our dress rehearsal is going to come from. At this point, we're going to have to start like selling cookies, but the Girl Scouts already have that. So I'm kind of screwed on that. This organization is not too proud to accept free will donations. We would gratefully accept anything, honestly, anything. Sheet music is not cheap. It runs somewhere between $1.75 and $2.50 a copy. Seven, 8 songs get a little bit on the spendy side. And then there's just trying to adequately compensate Chris's time coming over here. The man works for Google for a living. He comes over here out of the goodness of his heart. And because he's a damn fine pianist. But I have officially been told we don't know where the money's going to come from. So, for a curricular offering at the college to come forward and say, hey, yeah, we'll do it. We'll put out all the good music. We'll do all kinds of good stuff, but we've got no money to do it. So this is my public television PP. Oh, wait, they're trying to defund that as well, aren't they? National Public Radio. Oh, no, wait, that's the National Endowment for the Arts and Humanities. They're trying to defund those. I'm just going to say, if you could pop a little bit of change, a couple bucks, in that nice little empty, lonely flower vase back there, it would be most incredibly appreciated. We are operating on, well, to say a shoestring that's lavish. We're trying to do what we can with very little. So any help that you might be able to give us is greatly appreciated. To close this evening's concert, we're going to do a little mashup. Initially, we were going to do this wonderful arrangement of Paul Simon's American Tune. And we will still do it at our last concert of the semester. When we come down to that, which is Tuesday, 16th May, I want to say. Yeah, 16th May. Tuesday night, 16th May, 7:30 in here. And that's going to be songs from the big screen and little screen, television and motion pictures. American Tune was used for the documentary The Statue of Liberty by Ken Burns. So I get to recycle it, and we're going to be able to do the whole thing. American Tune is a remarkable piece of music in the fact that Paul Simon wrote this beautiful piece of music that he really didn't write. He actually heard the melody from a fellow songwriter, fellow folk singer, Tom Glaser. Well, Tom Glaser, no, he didn't compose it either. Actually, he said, well, I got it from J.S. Bach. And it's a melody that you find in the St. Matthew Passion and here and there. It's an old Lutheran chorale melody, and it turns out that not even Bach wrote the thing. Turns out he borrowed it as well. So we can take this back into the 17th century, all the way back. And it took Paul Simon to boil this beautiful melody down and to turn it into a wonderful folk song, which we're not going to sing for you tonight. We're going to sing the opening of American Tune, which actually is the Bach Hans Leo Hassler chorale melody with a little tuning by Paul Simon, and then a little additional arrangement by the guy I got this arrangement from, Will Robertson. That's going to function as an opening for our last piece of the evening, which in modern times, here in the United States, is probably one of the best known of all protest songs. Coming out of, originally in 1945, but best known from the Civil Rights Movement. And that is the song, We Shall Overcome. We will be doing all 5 verses of We Shall Overcome immediately after we follow the wordless opening of American Tune. And please feel free to follow along, and if you know the song, We Shall Overcome, please sing it. Please sing along with us. These are songs of the people. You are people. We are people. Let us be people together. We have a lot to sing about these days. We have a lot that we need to overcome. More than we have in a long time. American Tune, and We Shall Overcome. mention to a couple other events coming up during your program. We have 2 other events for the Mission Chorus this semester. Our next one, second chorus, is going to be Sunday, April 23rd at 3 o'clock, right next door in the main building. The main building has served a wonderful, beautiful life, and its function is coming slowly to an end. We're going to celebrate all the goodness of that facility over there, all the good that it has done, this campus, all that it has served in the center space. It'll be a collaborative performance. We have a special commissioned work that we're going to be performing with the Mission College Symphony Orchestra. And then our final concert will be in here on Tuesday, May 16th, 7:30 p.m. And that's going to be the Sounds of Change choral music from the small and large screen. This will be our last 2 events for the term. I want to very much thank you for coming out and supporting us this evening. These people worked so hard, and it was really nice having you to bounce some sound off of as opposed to an empty wall. Tell your friends. We're always looking for new voices. Think about that in upcoming terms. We're always looking for new voices. You can register for this class as many as 4 times. We have some folks that are literally kind of aging out of the choir at this point. This is like an old drum and bugle corps. How many people, this will be their last semester? Yeah. Wow. So I'm like, all of a sudden it's like, yep, build it up again. And I need fresh blood. If you're interested, let me know. My contact information is there in the program. It's important that we support one another in this time. It is important that we keep music in our hearts and in our souls, and it is important that if something is not right, if we perceive injustice, that we stand up and protest. These are the times that call for it, more than ever before, more than ever in my lifetime. The Chinese curse is, may you live in interesting times. Well, we certainly do. If you find injustice, shine the light, call it out, and protest it. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.